There is one simple action many seniors do every morning. It feels normal. It feels harmless. It is a habit woven into the very fabric of our modern, fast-paced lives. But cardiologists and longevity experts are now issuing a quiet but urgent warning. This single habit may be quietly increasing your heart stress, specifically after the age of 60. Most people never connect this one movement to heart strain because the effects are subtle, cumulative, and dangerously slow. We often mistake the symptoms for just getting older or a lack of caffeine. But the reality happening inside your chest is far more complex. Before we reveal the science behind this habit, if you are committed to protecting your heart, optimizing your longevity, and navigating your golden years with true physical strength, please take a moment to like this video and subscribe to Wellness Roots Journey. Our mission is to bridge the gap between complex clinical research and your daily well-being. Your support allows us to reach thousands of seniors who are looking for trusted guidance. I am truly grateful to have you in our community. Now, let's talk about the biological storm that happens inside your body the moment you open your eyes. To understand why your morning routine matters, we must first understand the cold start of the human heart. The heart is a masterpiece of rhythm and steady transitions. It is not a machine that likes sudden high-voltage demands. It prefers gradual physiological shifts. During the 6 to 8 hours you spend in deep sleep, your body enters what is known as parasympathetic dominance. This is your rest and digest state. During this time, your heart rate slows to its lowest baseline. Your blood pressure drops significantly, a phenomenon doctors call nocturnal dipping. Your blood vessels relax, and your core temperature falls. This is the only time your heart truly gets to recover from the thousands of gallons of blood it pumped the day before. However, the transition from sleep to wakefulness is the most vulnerable period for the human cardiovascular system. As we age, our cardiovascular flexibility begins to change. The simple action that many seniors take is forcing the body into immediate, upright activity before the heart has completed its wake-up sequence. This includes jumping out of bed the second the alarm goes off, rushing to the kitchen, or engaging in immediate physical exertion. When you do this, you are effectively forcing a cold engine to redline. The heart is forced to respond instantly. Within seconds, your sympathetic nervous system fires a massive burst of norepinephrine and cortisol. Heart rate rises sharply. Blood pressure spikes. For a heart over 60, this creates unnecessary, repeated mechanical strain on the heart walls. Doctors explain that aging hearts are not necessarily weak, but they are highly sensitive to pressure fluctuations. In your 20s, your arteries were like elastic rubber bands. They could expand and contract in a heartbeat. But after decades of life, those same arteries become more like garden hoses that have been left in the sun. They are stiffer. They are less forgiving. When you stand up suddenly, gravity pulls your blood toward your lower extremities. To prevent you from fainting, your heart must work twice as hard to pump blood upward against gravity to reach your brain. If your arteries are stiff, the heart has to generate much higher pressure to move that same amount of blood. This is why many seniors notice warning signs that they often dismiss. Do you ever feel a slight tightness in the upper chest just after standing? A momentary sense of dizziness or lightheadedness? A racing pulse that feels hollow? Or perhaps a lingering fatigue that lasts until mid-morning? These are not random events. These are signals. Your heart is essentially gasping for a slower transition. These symptoms often fade within minutes as the body eventually stabilizes, which is why we ignore them. But the cumulative damage of doing this 365 days a year for a decade leads to what experts call left ventricular hypertrophy, a thickening of the heart muscle that makes it less efficient over time. There is another overlooked factor: circulation and blood viscosity. After hours of sleep, your blood is at its thickest. You are naturally dehydrated from breathing and sweating overnight. Doctors describe this as high viscosity. Pumping thick blood through stiffened pipes requires an immense amount of force. By rushing your morning, you are asking your heart to perform its hardest task at its most dehydrated and vulnerable state. We must also consider the circadian spike. Our bodies have an internal clock that naturally raises blood pressure and heart rate just before we wake up to prepare us for the day. This is a natural, biological surge. However, when we add physical rushing on top of this natural surge, we create a double peak of heart stress. Statistics show that the majority of cardiovascular events, including strokes and heart attacks, occur in the early morning hours for this exact reason. The nervous system connection cannot be overstated. When you start your day with urgency or worry, you are essentially bathing your heart in stress hormones. These hormones signal the blood vessels to tighten, exactly when they should be relaxing to accommodate the increase in blood flow. This creates a state of internal resistance. It is like trying to drive a car with the emergency brakes still engaged. But here is the good news. This type of daily stress is entirely preventable. It does not require a prescription. It requires a system shift. Healthy aging is not about pushing the body harder to prove we are still young. It is about listening more closely to the wisdom of our biology. Clinical studies have shown that seniors who adopt a gradual awakening protocol see a significant stabilization in their morning blood pressure readings. I want to share with you a simple 3-step strategy that doctors call the 3-minute buffer. First, the horizontal minute. When you wake up, do not move. Stay lying down for 60 seconds. Flex your ankles, wiggle your toes, and take 3 deep diaphragmatic breaths. This tells your nervous system that the transition from sleep to wakefulness has begun gently. Second, the seated transition. Sit on the edge of the bed for at least 1 minute before standing. Let your feet touch the floor. This allows your baroreceptors, the sensors in your neck that monitor blood pressure, to adjust to the change in gravity. This simple pause prevents the sudden drop in blood flow to the brain and stabilizes the heart rate. Third, internal lubrication. Before you reach for the caffeine, reach for a glass of room temperature water. This immediately begins to lower blood viscosity, making it easier for your heart to circulate oxygen to your muscles and brain. Many seniors who have implemented this 3-minute buffer report a profound change. They feel calmer. They feel steadier. They notice that their energy actually lasts longer into the afternoon because they didn't burn out. Their heart's reserves in the first 10 minutes of the day. Some even report that their sleep quality improves at night because the body isn't carrying the residual stress of a traumatic morning start. The philosophy of Wellness Roots' journey is simple. Longevity is built in the small moments. It is the result of thousands of tiny, correct decisions. Your heart has been beating for you, second after second, for 60, 70 years. It is the most loyal engine you will ever own. It deserves a graceful start. If this message resonated with you, I invite you to share your story in the comments. Have you felt that morning rush? Have you noticed these signals from your heart? By sharing your experience, you help create a roadmap for others in our community. In our upcoming videos, we will dive deeper into the hydration myth for seniors and how to optimize your vagus nerve for heart health. Until then, take a breath, slow down, and take care of your heart. I'm Juniper for Wellness Roots Journey. This video is for educational purposes only. It does not replace professional medical advice. Always consult your doctor before making changes to your routine, especially if you have existing heart conditions, blood pressure issues, or circulation concerns. Thank you for spending this time with me.